Hey guys, this is Max Steinberg, poker professional and daily fantasy professional, and I'm here with another edition of the Lineup Lab. And today's focus is targets. So I'm looking at some targets numbers in week 12 and attempting to figure out what we can learn from this and predict some performances in week 13, see what was luck, see what was skill, see if we can find anything, uncover anything by looking at these numbers. So I've already taken a look at these numbers, and I've seen a few players that stand out to me as guys that I'm really encouraged by from week 12 targets. So the first one I want to point out is Demaryius Thomas. So obviously, Thomas did not have a very good game in week 12. He only had one catch for 36 yards. But I'm really encouraged to see this number, 13 targets, because it means that he's still getting a ton of looks from Brock Osweiler, and it's possible that this was kind of a fluky game. It was played in the snow, and Thomas is a guy who usually catches 60% or so of his balls. So I think that if he continues to get these target numbers in the future, and there's no indication that he's not, he's still their number one receiver and he's still a beast, I think that he's going to have good performances in the future. In week 13, he faces the Chargers, which is more of a middle of the road lineup for wide receivers or matchup for wide receivers, but I actually like Thomas quite a bit as a GPP play in week 13 because I think he's going to be overlooked quite a bit. Another player I want to point out is Martavis Bryant. Now, he was more of a hotter commodity this week, and he actually performed pretty well. While he didn't get a touchdown receiving, he did get a touchdown rushing, but he only did have 5 catches for 69 yards. Now, I do also really like to see this 13 target number from Bryant, though, because 13 targets is a number that you see with number one type wide receivers. With number twos, you usually see them in the 9, 8, 7 range from week to week. And so what I think this target number indicates is that Martavis Bryant is going to continue to have the production of a number one receiver, even though he's technically the number two in the Steelers offense. So I like Bryant quite a bit going forward, especially against a soft Colts defense in week 13. And the last person I just want to touch on is our friend Scott Chandler with the New England Patriots. Now, Chandler would have been a popular play anyway this week with Rob Gronkowski going down and being forced into the number one role. But when I look at these target numbers, I'm thinking that he's a real slam dunk this week. And that's because even though Gronkowski played most of the game, Chandler clearly was very involved in the offense, and I'm guessing they did this because of how many wide receiver injuries they had. And this 11 target number is very, very high for a tight end. And so I think with Gronkowski out and Chandler taking that number one tight end role, I think we're going to see a really, really good performance out of him in week 13 against the Eagles. And he's only 2,500 on DraftKings. He's just way, way, way too cheap. So I like Chandler quite a bit this week, and I encourage you to play him a lot, especially in your cash lineups. So those were just a few guys that I like this week. Great target numbers and recommendations for week 13. Good luck constructing your lineups and doing your research this week, guys.